it is what it is. Like, you know, I was gonna have fun and be me. We had kindergarten here, and I didn't know how to speak English at all. Like I remember at school we used to have a music subject,
Yeah.
and I hated it. I saw some guy making a song while cutting up cucumbers,
Right.
right? And I was like, you know, ida kar sakda hu, main tak cha bana ke bhi bana sakda. For those 5 to 6 years, I listened to one guy. Like, as in music producing, he's a god, because what he has done is actually is I can't even, like, I don't know how to speak about it. Like, that's how crazy it is. Good music like that, it doesn't just come through like learning, but it comes through the person and how much they love music. And
Right.
everyone just goes there to get samples so they can just chuck some drums and be like, man, music producer bunny again. Drake doesn't get that much. How is this Punjabi singer getting this much? Like, this is my first ever podcast with anyone, because I didn't usually do this.
My guest today is a music producer from Melbourne, Australia. He's 6 years into his music career, and his recent song Bata is available to stream on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Welcome, Atwal Music.
Thank you for having me here.
No worries, no worries. What I like to do at the beginning of each podcast is basically just take a trip down memory lane and find out what you were like as a kid growing up in Australia. What was Australia like growing up? And like as a kid.
That's a very I've never been asked that, actually. I was born here. In the start, like, my parents always spoke Punjabi, so like just shuru ch mainu Punjabi aunਦੀ ਸੀ ਸਾਰੇ time ਲਈ. And when I started school, like, we had kindergarten here, and I didn't know how to speak English at all, so I didn't know how to communicate with other kids. And at that time, I still spoke Punjabi to other, like, Gore Australians over here. And during the time when I got into primary school, that's when I started learning, like, A, B, C, D. Like, I knew it beforehand, but I started learning how to speak it and everything.
Yeah.
So English, I would say, is kind of a second language for me, and I'll say Punjabi is first, because even at home right now with my parents and my grandma, I always speak Punjabi more than anything. And even with my mates and friends here, I always speak Punjabi first. I like speaking Punjabi because they're Punjabi as well. And like most kids here in Australia do the opposite. They speak English and they hardly know how to speak Punjabi.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm lucky just having, like, my parents, like, influence me in this way.
Yeah. I feel like
And
that sorry,
go
go
on. That's all right.
I feel like that is a sort of common in basically any country outside of India, where like your parents will, it's either one or two ways. It's either you speak English and basically forget Punjabi, or you just speak
Yeah.
Punjabi, then you go to school and you can't speak English to
Learning.
anyone.
Yeah.
Because it
So
was
I
the
was kind
same
of
with
like
my
that.
brother,
Yeah.
but then he was the older sibling. So when I was growing up, anything that like I didn't understand, he would just like translate to me in English. Whereas when
Yep.
he went to school, all he knew was Punjabi. So it took him a while to start learning English over here as well.
Yeah. I have an older brother as well. We had a 4-year age difference. So I think in the beginning he didn't speak English to me when I was little, and he was
Right.
going to school already. He would always speak English at school and Punjabi still at home, and Punjabi to me, because even if he spoke something English, I wouldn't be able to understand it. So I
Yeah.
think once I started going to primary school, we just started speaking English to each other, like, very slowly at home.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just went off.
Yeah. Is it? I know there is like a big like Punjabi Apna community in Australia, but is it like, is there certain parts where it's bigger than others? Like you're from Melbourne, is that like a hot spot
Yeah.
for Apna or?
Or Hage a Kafi Loki. I
Yeah.
would still say Sydney has more Punjabis than Melbourne. But it's nothing compared to, like, you guys over there in UK or even Canada.
Yeah.
Like, it's still relatively small, I would reckon, in my opinion. I've been to the UK when I was young, and I remember going to, like, a whole mall. Like, it was like so many streets in the UK where it's just Punjabis, completely Punjabis. And I remember going to stores, and even the store owners were Punjabi as well. They were selling different kind of things, right? But
Yeah.
they're all Punjabi. Like,
Y-
there's like a lane of stores. Like, I remember as a kid just walking
Yeah.
through it, like sabji mandi sees everything was there. It was all Punjabis though.
So you
Like,
don't
we
have
don't
that in
have that here
Australia?
though.
Okay.
No. We have, like, Gurdwara, We do have now. We're building up like streets of houses where we have Punjabis only.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting that over here too now, but yeah, not like the UK.
Not like the UK. To be fair, I'm from Newcastle in the UK, and that's not like that. That's like Birmingham and Southall, a bit more like that because there's more happening there. Whereas in
Okay,
Newcastle,
yeah,
so even when I go down south to them, I feel a bit weird because I'm just like, whoa,
there's
there's so
more.
many happening here. Yeah,
There's so
like
many. Yeah, yeah,
me and mum or dad will be talking like in a shop saying, "Oh, we shouldn't get this," but like in Punjabi, and then the store owner will just interrupt and say, "Nahi, nahi, badhiya quality."
नहीं
Yeah,
ला
and I'm
लो
like,
ये ला लो
whoa, that doesn't happen in Newcastle.
yeah,
um,
not good as.
so when did you start getting into music? Like, I said at the intro
Oh,
that it's been around 6 years, but I assume
yeah.
that you were probably interested in listening to a lot of music before then.
I in the very beginning when I was like 3 to 2 years old, very beginning, me and my brother would always dance, do pangra.
Yeah,
We didn't know how to do pangra. We had no idea how to do it. But my dad would just put like songs on the TV, for example, just cassettes. Before then we had cassettes, right? We didn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
like CDs and stuff, or we didn't have Punjabi songs coming up on television, right?
yeah, yeah.
So my dad would have cassettes. He would have like a VCR player, and he would put in those cassettes from he got from India,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put like Hansraj Hans or I can't remember, like even
Binder
Jazzy
Rakhia.
B, old school Jazzy B and Bindarakia,
Yeah.
and we would just dance and dance as kids. So I reckon the music and the culture of music to me influenced from the beginning, like the sound, like the tol, the tolak, the way they sing and everything to my ear.
Mm-hmm.
That was from the very beginning. And then I started getting into it more when I was about like 12 years old, because I used to always do Bhangra beforehand because our parents put us into Punjabi school over here in
Yeah.
Australia. And then every year we would have to perform. And then me and my brother already loved to dance. And we would just, yeah, go ham on the stage just together.
Is there like
And
Bhangra groups and Bhangra competitions in Australia, like
oh, there
around?
are now. Yeah, yeah, there's
Right.
heaps now. But way back in the day, there wasn't that much. It was
Mm-hmm.
just Punjabi school. Like that was the main thing. If there was any Bhangra performances, it was in that Punjabi school. I don't know about Sydney, but here in Victoria, I think it was like that. I
Yeah.
was very young then, so I probably can't be fully sure about it.
Yeah.
But in when I was 12, my one of my cousins in Queensland, it's a bit north of us in Australia, and he used to play the tool. So he got the tool from India, and I used to see him play it, and like I love the sound of the tool, right? I
Mm-hmm.
was like, this is a mad sound, mad drums. And then he actually gave it to me. Like
Oh, sick.
I didn't have to pay anything for it. Like he saw that I really liked it.
Yeah.
So I just started playing at his house, and then he gave it to me. I brought it back here to my house, and I started playing. I learned myself. Like I put some YouTube tutorials on. Like just there was one guy who had like so many tutorials. He had the chal, the tamal. If you know some of the like
Is
the,
this Manveer Hoti by any chance?
it's a guy. He's Sardar as well,
Oh, okay, it's
and he
not
has
him
a
then. Yeah.
small pug.
Yeah.
I think his YouTube channel was called How to Play the Dawn. I think so. I'm not
Right.
sure. Can't remember. But yeah, I just learned a bit off him, and then everything else was self-taught. So that
Mm-hmm.
was basically the first instrument that I learned in music, like me playing an instrument, for example.
It's similar to me. Like we had a dog from India, and basically when everybody would leave the house, I'd pick it up and I'd put Brit Asia on, which is basically the music channel over here. And
Yeah,
obviously this is like early 2000s probably. So it's like when that garage sort of Bhangra was in, and all you could hear
yeah,
is that distinct dole. It would be the chal, and then you just listen, and just try to emulate it, and then
yeah.
eventually you can play the
This,
chal.
this when you talk about UK ground music, I remember me being influenced, also listening to from here in Australia, Mani Sandhu and Sangra Vibes.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
used to dig their music back in the day as a kid. I used to absolutely love it because Mani Sandhu especially, he had that mix of garage music and that bhangra together with his harmonium,
yeah.
and I would love that.
Who else were your inspirations other than Manny and Sangwa Vibes?
So that was
The Unleashed album. Sorry, I should mention that as well. The Unleashed
yeah,
album,
yeah,
amazing.
that was actually yeah amazing as well. I know. They were major within when I was about 12 to 15, 16.
Hmm.
And then around 13 years of age, I used to go to maths tutoring.
Okay.
My parents, you know how Indian parents are, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they want you
yeah.
to get. scores and stuff like that. And like I wasn't the best at maths either, but I started going to maths tutoring, and there was this jinky that used to always tutor me, and I
Right.
would go from 13 years of age to about 18, like 5 to 6 years I spent just going to her until
Yeah.
I finished high school. And she was phenomenal at maths, and I learned a lot from her. But like me going there every week for those 5 to 6 years, I listened to one guy, and you
Right.
probably heard of him, The
Okay.
Prophecy.
Oh, yes.
Like
Yes.
yeah, in the car, like I would always play him in the car, and I always listen to him. Like me and my brother were like massive fans way back in the day when he released his first album, Forever. Like now he's really really big. Like many
Hmm.
people know about him, but like back in the day, it was very low key. Like it was very underground, just in Canada and Calgary, in America, probably a bit in UK as well about him. But yeah, I used to love his music. Like that album still, yet for me, is probably the best album he's made. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's insane the music in that, and that would be one of my strongest inspirations in music, like till today as well.
I
And then I
think you can
slowly,
sort of see it as well because with him, he does his own production, he does his own like he's singing and
yeah,
obviously his lyrics as well. And like we were saying just before we started here, like you obviously do your own production, you're focusing on your singing, and you've
yeah,
got lyrics out as well. So you can sort of see that like the triple threat sort of aspect is there with yourself as well.
yeah, because like I didn't, I never knew that singing was like, I came to singing probably about 4 years ago. Before that, it was just production. Like I went from a tool to a
Hmm.
tumbi to a harmonium, and then I would play kind of like the Mani Sandhu tunes on the harmonium, which I still can today. Like
Yeah.
it's just in my memory, my muscle memory. I just know how to do it. But then after that, I moved on to a DJ set, like a very small DJ set,
Hmm.
and just mixing songs, like as in putting the same tempo and just transferring one song to the other. And I enjoyed that. And then I was like, this is still not yet it. Like this is not what it is. There's something more that I need to go into. And
Yeah.
then I wanted to make the actual song itself. So then I went into going on a software on the computer and learning how to produce in there. And then I learned the keyboard with that, playing just different sounds. Like I don't have a teacher. I never had a teacher before.
Hmm.
It's just my ears. I work with my ears, like what sounds good to me. And luckily I just have something within me that like I can just put out into the keyboard, into the software, make sounds, and make sure these sounds work together as well. Like I don't ever do something off beat. Like I would know if something's wrong, if something doesn't work either.
Hmm.
Like one day I'll produce something and the next day I'll come back to it, and if I see some errors I'll just adjust it and fix it straight away. That's what producing. So I believe that even right now, since I've been producing for about 6 to 7 years now, I'm really good at that. But my singing is still getting there too. It's like
Hmm.
my singing is halfway and my music's a bit further ahead of it. That's why I'm just trying to really focus on my singing right now, so I can bring that next to my music too. But
Yeah.
that's going to take with practice and just a few more years. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Definitely, it always takes time. But I'm surprised that you have no like formal music education. Like you just self-taught on
nada,
everything.
nothing. Yeah, like I remember at school we used to have a music subject,
Yeah.
and I hated it. You know why I hated it? Because we had to learn these music notes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I wasn't going to sit there and learn music notes. Like I enjoyed like playing with different instruments,
Yeah.
but I wasn't going to sit there and learn the musical notes and stuff like that, or what chords in the keyboard, F minor, G minor. Like I know of the words and the phrases, right?
Yeah.
But even till today, when I make a song, I just play random keys. Like I play chords, right? Like I
Yeah.
know how to play them, but I just play whatever sounds good to me.
So do you still not like use do you not like write anything down? So after you play it, like do you not write the the melody down or something, or do you just record it straight in and if it sounds good, it sounds good?
Record it straight in. Like I just record it. Yeah, exactly. Just I play a melody, record it. I don't when it comes to music, I don't write any melodies down. And with singing over a beat, I just make that melody with my mouth, because
Right.
there's a lot of things you can actually do just with your own mouth. You could make a whole song with just the mouth.
Yeah.
Like because like for example, even this podcast right now, if I was to just snap a little bit of the words, like of your words and my words, I
Yeah.
could make an instrument out of it, and
Yeah.
I could make a melody out of it, and I could make different instruments out of it and make like a song out of it, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because you've done this on like on your Instagram. I was speaking beforehand as like the one where you're making jar in the morning. where you've just
Yeah,
got
yeah,
little
yeah. There you go.
snippets of like tiny, tiny things, and you make a song out of it. It's like it's so
Yeah,
creative, and it just sounds so cool.
yeah. Because you can do so much with sound. Like I feel like right now in this music industry, everything's about like no offense, but everything's about gangsters, like
Yeah,
having guns, talking about gangs, smoking, drugs, like being jut. Being jut is like, bro, like every song nearly has jut in my jut hunde, like everything is about jut now. And all these kids as well that are upcoming, I've seen some kids, they're all coming into this gang, like holding guns in their music videos and stuff. And I'm just like, everyone's doing the same thing. They're just following a trend, and
yeah,
no one's
yeah.
trying to be unique and different. Because what you
That's
can
it.
do
Yeah,
with sound is so many things. And a normal singer or even music producers, like the normal ones, right? They just like just make beats. Some aren't even music producers. They get samples, like guitar samples, different instruments
yeah,
samples from like these online websites,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
just put some drums into it. And they're like,
yeah.
I'm a music producer. Yeah, like I've seen that as well. Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. To be fair, like I'm not gonna name any names, but yeah, I know what you're on about.
Yeah.
Who's so who's who's big in Australia, like up and
Pav.
wise?
Pav. Pav Daria.
Pavdaria, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he's
was
a
thinking
sick.
of him as
He's
well because I
yeah.
thought that. But is there anybody else who's like on a similar level to him or up and coming, other than
Um,
yourself, obviously?
So I've had the opportunities to meet Pav because
Mhm.
one of my close friends' brother is really, really close with Pav. Like he's known Pav for years,
Yeah,
since they were little. And I've met Pav here and there. And I've even got like critiquing from Pav as well when I sent him some of my music, which is really good because I listened to his critique and I've been
yeah,
working on it every single day,
yeah.
right? Otherwise, have you heard of Morpholactic?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Okay, so Morpholactic, he's a music producer. He's bloody amazing as well. He's a bit low key too, underground.
Right.
But Zora Randawa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So he produced one of Zora Randawa's songs. Huh? Do you remember Huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he was the producer of that. And even
Okay.
One of Fateh's song in his first album, Bring It Home,
Yeah.
Chakme,
Right.
he Morpholactic co-produced that with Jay Static. So at the end
Okay.
of that song, Jakme, it's Morpholactic. So if you watch the music video on YouTube, you'll
Yeah.
see him. He comes at the
Right.
very end of the music video.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
And
is
also
I'm sorry, go on.
we have another we have a few more music producers here now in Melbourne, Australia. You probably haven't heard of may have heard of him. One's a rapper. He
Hmm.
goes by the name Kid J West. One's a music producer. Two of them music producers. One goes by the name Snedeep, and one goes by the name Hustle, which is I think in Sydney.
Okay, so it's
So
quite
these are the
there's
people.
quite a few then.
Yeah, there's quite a few that are upcoming as well. Yeah,
Do
and
you
there's
all
this
like
other
work
guy.
together?
Not yet. Like we follow each other.
Hmm.
We like each other's music. Like I listen to their music as well.
Hmm.
Massive fan of the music. But yeah, I just haven't really networked with them yet, which
Right.
I am going to do in the future. But yeah,
But there's no like negative vibes towards each other. It's all like positive
no, no,
competition.
no, no, nothing. Yeah, no, nothing like that. I personally don't have any negative vibes to anyone.
That
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
just
that's
how I am. Like I don't see anyone as a competition. I never will.
yeah,
Like because I believe that the only competition is yourself.
yeah.
You shouldn't try to compare yourself with other people.
Hmm.
You should try to be better than the day you were before yesterday.
Hmm.
Like you want to try to be better than yourself, not better than others.
100%. And it's because
Yeah.
you see it all the time. Like going back to the gangster thing is like the two big names is Musiala and Karan
And
Aujla.
Karan Ojala, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then they never make a song because it's a random beef there that they
Yeah,
probably
I don't
don't
know
even
why
know
there's
why
a
there's
beef.
beef there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're really, I don't know. Honestly, they should make a song together and it'll be a massive song.
Exactly.
Legit.
Yeah, yeah. Even if the actual song was bad, it would still be
It'll
huge
still
just
be
because of the
good.
two
It will
names.
still
Yeah, do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly. Yeah, I know. It could
But
be
it
the
just
shittest
doesn't
song
happen.
ever, but yeah.
I've seen have you seen that Karan Aujla and Bohemia have got a song with Game?
Yeah, that
Like,
I actually listened to that song. That was a sick song. Yeah, that
yeah,
was really
yeah.
good.
I
Yeah.
like I grew up on obviously like hip hop. as well as like bhangra music. But when you go, I feel like most Apne sort of listen to hip hop as well as bhangra. Like that's the English
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of genre
It
that you
is.
sort
It
of
is.
tend
Yeah.
to go to.
It is
I don't know if
definitely.
there's a
Yeah.
musical reason for that, if like the beats are similar. But 50 Cent in the game, when like G Unit was popping when I was a kid, like, and
Yeah.
then seeing the game in a song with God and Odlan Bohemians, like blew
Yeah.
my
Bohemia.
mind.
Yeah. Bohemia is massive. Honestly, he's probably the best Punjabi rapper. He's the one who started Punjabi rap basically.
Yeah.
Punjabi. I don't know about Hindi rap, but I feel like he was the first on Bohemia
Hmm.
because he's been there since like I was legit like 4 or 5 years old. He's probably been there.
Yeah, yeah,
And like the stories he tells in his songs actually next level. Like he has stories to tell, right?
yeah,
Nowadays rappers they have stories, but they don't have stories like him. You get
yeah.
what I mean?
Or it's like
Like
mumble rap.
he's been homeless, he's
Mm,
lived life without his parents and everything. And there was a point in life where he couldn't go to Pakistan either.
yeah,
There was like a certain point that he couldn't get an entry into Pakistan for a reason. I can't
yeah.
remember what that reason was for, but yeah.
Do you feel like nowadays it's less like lyrically focused unless you get some sort of outliers like Bohemia and things, but mainly it is like production value sort of thing. Like if there's a good beat on it, people will just listen to it regardless.
If it's a good beat, it has to be a good beat like Big Bird.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
has to be a good ass beat like so high.
yeah.
That's how good the beat. I reckon beats have to be really, really good and catchy
Hmm.
for people to actually dig it. And with vocals can also be catchy. Like Pav has really catchy vocals on like
Yeah,
Naja, for example.
yeah, yeah,
And even have you heard of Funk?
yeah, yeah. I quite
Yeah,
like
like
that. It's very
yeah,
different. I really like that.
yeah, it was phenomenal. There's also another guy. He's called Talwinder, if you've heard of him.
Right, okay. The name sounds similar. Familiar, sorry.
Talwinder, and he just came in this year, and his vocals, his lyrics are very simple, and the way he sings is very simple, so anyone can understand and just sing with it. But
Yeah.
his voice, the way he sings, like his tone of his voice, is just something unique, very different. Yeah, it's kind of like the prophecy. Like you know how if we hear prophecy's voice, we know it's the prophecy. Like it can't be
Yeah.
anyone else. So like with him, if I hear his voice, I know it's him. Like it's
Yeah.
that distinct. Yeah,
I think like keeping it simple is probably like a underrated value as well. Like I feel like personally, obviously, I'm not a music expert or anything, but
yeah,
personally, I feel like that's what's helped with Diljit as well. Because I think beforehand you see like a transformation before like Back to Basics. That
yeah,
album sort of like propelled him into like the next level sort of thing with True School. But I feel like his lyrics after then, most of them, whether it just be in the hook are normally quite simple so that it's like universally understood whether you're in India and you've got really good Punjabi, whether you're a kid or whether you're like living out of the country, like the Punjabi is really simple so everybody can sort of understand it, which is I
yeah.
think an underrated value in that as well.
There is, definitely there is. Cause like nowadays, like when I hear Sidhu or Karan, some of the lyrics I can't understand. Like I honestly can't.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they just go past my head.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Um,
so complex sometimes.
so going on to like just producers, not just in like Australia, but you mentioned Big Bird there and Mani Sandhu before.
Yeah, for
Because you
sure.
started off with production, who's
Yeah, yeah.
who's the ones that like who else did you sort of look up
Okay.
to and try to emulate? Not just Punjabi, it could be
Yeah,
English as
yeah.
well
I know.
because you've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
like quite a twist in your music.
I do. I do. I definitely do. I also listen to a lot of house music, house, EDM,
Yeah, you can
electronic.
tell.
I've listened to a lot of that when I was a kid. And artists like Tiesto, Hardwell, Stevie Aoki, um, so many Dimitri Vegas. Those three guys. There were three guys. Oh, I can't remember the name. Bloody hell.
Yeah, the ones that did Lean On, Major Lazer.
Swedish House. Swedish House
Oh,
Mafia, I
Swedish
think.
House. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, them. Italo Brothers as well. Clubhouse Mania. It used to be massive back in the day, like 2014, 15. It still is really big. Like the market for that kind of music is massive.
Yeah,
Um, so all of them, like there was some in the UK, in America, that kind of music, like the drops, especially, like you know how there's always a build up
yeah,
and there's a drop.
yeah.
Like some drops I absolutely love and dig, and
Hmm.
there was some that I obviously didn't like. Another music producer, You've heard of Imran Khan, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The music producer for Imran Khan, he goes by the name Ernie,
yeah. I've
and
heard of him.
I honestly reckon he's probably, for me, he's like a god of music. Like for
Yeah,
me, honestly, it is. Like as in music producing, he's a god because what he has done is actually is I can't even like I don't know how to speak about it. Like that's how crazy it is.
yeah,
Because he basically not just made Imran, not about making Imran Khan, but like as in him and Imran Khan, what they did together, like every single song in that album, Unforgettable, is unforgettable,
yeah, yeah.
right? And even the music, like Aaron E, he's not Punjabi, he's not Indian either.
He's
He's from the
Dutch, isn't he?
Netherlands.
Yeah,
He's
exactly. Yeah.
Dutch, yeah, from the Netherlands, yeah. And he studied Punjabi music, Indian music, classical music, all on his by himself at home, by himself, self-taught everything, right? He used to be a
Unbelievable.
DJ in the Netherlands, and Imran Khan met him, and they just produced the best music out there. And one thing I really like about Aaron E is the fact that all the songs on the album,
Hmm.
he made them again and again.
How do you mean?
Like as in he made those there's like about 12 songs on the album, right?
Yeah.
He made those 12 songs like again and again. So Bear Far, he probably made about three times
Oh, okay. So
into
the
the last
final
version.
final version that we hear isn't like the okay. I understand.
Isn't the
Yeah,
actual, yeah, that he started off with.
yeah,
Same as Gora Gora Rang amplifier as well. Like that just goes to show how much hard work, like his work ethic and how much hard work that he's put in. It just like it really does influence me, like knowing that that one person by himself could do this much.
yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
100%, 100% agree.
Yeah,
Like they changed the game. Like when Amplifier came out, I don't know a person who had a vehicle that didn't have that song playing 24/7.
exactly.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like even like not even just in vehicles, like it was to the point where even like go to some weddings and people would be like jumping on the dance floor to that, and
yeah.
it's not a typical wedding song. Like they did change the game. Like I seen recently, when I think it was Big Bird or Sonny Malton went on like one of their Instagram rants essentially, and he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
"You're only going to
yeah.
appreciate how much I've changed the game later." He goes, "People in the past have done it as well," and like he did
He
mention
did mention
Imran
Imran
Khan.
Khan,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for
because
doing that.
Imran Khan and Irani, they put that hip hop, house music, all the genres of music they put together with Punjabi and Urdu lyrics, right?
Hmm.
Together, yeah, to form the album basically.
Yeah,
Because Irani, he brought music, not just Punjabi music. He brought the music of like the world basically,
yeah,
like different genres. Like I can like even especially like have you heard the Nazar song,
yeah,
the album?
yeah.
Yeah, even that song like it has a house beat to it,
Hmm.
and it's just sick. Like I could play those songs again and again. Like that's how good they are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can
Yeah.
tell the way that you're speaking about it that it's obviously heavily influenced you. Like you can tell that your
Oh
passion
yeah,
for it
yeah, definitely
is
has.
very
Yeah.
high, 100%. Like that's the thing that I like about like obviously Up and Ave went all over the world in Canada, in the
Mm,
Netherlands, like Imran Khan, in the UK, in Australia. So the Punjabi music of each region that like it's not Punjabi, it's
yeah.
British Punjabi, Canadian
Exactly.
Punjabi,
Yeah.
Dutch Punjabi, or Australian, and they all have like a
Yeah.
slight twist, but you get like your Punjabi roots involved and obviously your Australian roots, which is it's always a
Yeah.
cool blend. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I've got obviously like a lot of Gore friends here as well, and when they listen to when they get into my car, it's Punjabi music on all the time.
And they
But they're
like it.
always
They dig it.
shocked when like the
Yeah.
first listen to it, they're always shocked. They were like, I thought this was going to be like Punjabi MC with the tumbi and like the proper
Yeah. Yeah.
traditional
Yeah.
sort of folk.
Yeah.
But then they get into it and they're hearing like Sidhu Moosewala, Big Bird tracks, and they're thinking
Yeah.
this is pretty much like as good as normal hip hop. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
original like Western hip hop, but it's obviously
Yeah.
just lyrics are different, which is
Yeah.
so
Lyrics and
dope.
vocals, just Punjabi. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which is 100% dope.
Um.
And your style is like it is like you said with Erenese, it is like very much a combination of all these different things. So you've got like hip hop, you've got
Yeah.
trap, you've got house EDM, with
Yeah.
obviously the traditional dole and
Yeah.
tumbi that you learned.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I combine it all together, like, because these were all my inspirations, and that's what I heard, like what my ears heard, right?
Hmm.
And what my ears heard, like I feel like I don't like when I make music. I sometimes reckon I don't make music for people. Like I don't make music. I didn't say to myself when I come in the studio like I'm right now. I didn't say to myself that hey, I'm gonna make an electronic song or I'm gonna make a trap song, or I'm gonna make a sad song, or make a happy song. I
Yeah.
didn't come here like that. I could have the saddest vocals. I'll make a dance song out of it.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Like, I don't know what I do. Like, I just come in here and I just make music at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right? Like, I didn't come in here with a goal that I want to be like, मैं आज ये बनाना है, नहीं मैं आज ये करना है. I can't do that because it's not natural. That's like
Yeah.
me forcing myself to do something.
Which is what we were talking about before, that everyone just hopped on this gangster trend. Whereas, like, if you just go
Yeah.
in and make music that you feel like making that day, it's obviously
Mm.
if you're happy with it, then nobody, like, it doesn't matter what other people think. If it
Doesn't
blows
matter.
off, it
Exactly.
blows.
Yeah. It
Which is the
doesn't.
same
Yeah.
thing as this. Is like I'm having quality conversations with just who I want to have, like
Yeah.
quality conversations with. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate your music. For me, this
Yeah.
is like a buzz to be able to talk to you about music. So
It's
no
the
matter
same. The same with me as
exactly,
well, man.
no matter who listens to this, like obviously, hopefully
Yeah.
people do, but if they don't, I'm still glad that I've been able to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Same.
mean?
Same, bro. Yeah. I didn't care who listened, honestly. Like the
Yeah,
fact that you reached out. Like this is my first ever podcast with anyone because I didn't usually do this.
yeah,
I reckon I kind of suck at kind of the marketing networking side of things.
yeah.
I reckon I do, but thank you for reaching out because I really appreciate that. That like someone from the UK is speaking to me, taking out their time in their life and speaking to me. It's really
It's 100%
makes me happy. Yeah.
reciprocated, man. I feel like I'm buzzing that like you accepted, to be fair, and obviously with the time difference as well. I was thinking, oh, how's this gonna work?
Yeah.
But
No, this is
we made it.
awesome. Time is perfect. Honestly,
That's good,
it's
man. That's
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
And then because like obviously technology and things have sort of moved forward, as you were saying before, there are producers out there who just get a sample sort of thing off the internet, and then
This sample stuff started now.
yeah,
It started now.
it's
It
probably
started
because
probably about it could.
technology.
Yeah, it's just technology. It's like it's easier. Before, I reckon people who played instruments had to come in the studio to record the instrument.
Yeah,
Now, because of downloading, it's just and because of Google, it's just like everyone goes on Splice. It's a service
yeah,
that like gives samples, and
right,
everyone just goes there to get samples, so they can just chuck in some drums and be like my music producer, Bunny.
yeah. But then is so because the barrier to entry of becoming a producer is like so much lower now. Is
Yeah,
that a bad thing, or do you still have to learn how to make music?
good music. I believe good music like Ernie, Prophecy, Pav Daharia, Mickey Singh, Rackstar, good music like that, it doesn't just come through like learning, but it comes through the person and how much they love music.
Yeah,
Even like Amar Sandhu as well. There's this guy called Sick Kick, if you've heard
right,
of him.
okay.
Do you remember Culture Shock?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Culture Shock. You remember how there were three guys
yeah,
and there was the one skinny dude.
yeah, yeah,
His name was Lomatic, and there was like this fat guy called Sonny Brown as well.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
forgot the other guy's name. But that other skinny dude who was called Lomatic, he transferred from there to becoming a guy called Sick Kick, who has the
Right,
mask. I could forward you his Instagram account like after we finish this call.
yeah,
But he basically shifted his music from like doing songs because they used to perform at Bollywood events and stuff. Even
okay.
the music they made back in the day was amazing.
Hmm.
But what he does now is solo, and it's sick what he does. Like it's actually next level what he does.
Yeah,
And like not many people like not because he directs his music now to the Gore side, to people that follow Drake, that follow the Weekend. Like he directs the music there now. So he's
yeah. I
out to the
think I
Gore
heard
side of
about
things.
this. I think I heard about this. Have you heard of like the Frequency and Friends podcast in
Yeah, yeah,
Canada?
yeah.
I think they
Yeah,
were
they spoke
speaking to
about
it
him.
on there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they spoke about him, yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
he he's also a huge inspiration because he uses instruments from his mouth. Like
right.
he's made songs just with his mouth. Like singing, melodies, everything, even like snares, kicks, he can do it with his mouth.
Just beatboxing.
Yeah, just beatboxing, everything with his mouth. He'll make the song.
It's nuts.
Even like you know, you have the sub bass, like the like that sub
Yeah,
bass in the song, like the 808s.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he makes that with his mouth as well.
That's
Like
crazy.
this, yeah, it's actually because he first appeared on Just Rain's music video because Just Rain made a funny music video to some guy, some
Hmm.
skinny ass dude who went viral on the internet, and Just Rain wanted to make a music video of him. You probably heard the song. and Sikik made the music for it. That was
Okay.
when Sikik first started. And the mask, like he wears a mask, right? The mask he has today is really cool. But the one he had in the back in the day was some just uddi plaster naam bana ke muh te rakhya hoya si. But he's phenomenal too. I get really inspired by him as well.
It's good that you can like get inspired from all these different sort of elements and then combine them to make your own sort of style. Do you know what I mean? You're not like
Yeah,
you're not shying away from saying, "No, this is a unique style," sort of thing. Like it is, but it's
yeah,
obviously from all these external factors.
yeah. Because I get influenced. Like it's not like I'm stealing what they're doing or anything like that. I didn't steal their sounds or anything. It's like what my ears hear,
Hmm.
and then what I produce is similar. It just becomes similar somehow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
only natural. Like it's obviously not like you said, it's not stealing. It's just it's your inspiration. Like you're getting inspired from all these different sources, and then you
yeah,
formulate a style from. Like I'm sure in the back of your mind somewhere there'll probably be a bit of Jazzy B, Hansara Hansen, Bindrakia from when you were a kid
yeah.
as well.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Subconsciously, you're just absorbing all this, and then
yeah.
like you make something that sort of replicates your background.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. Definitely, that's true. That's yeah,
And then on your like music journey, how when did you start make like using social media and stuff? Like
okay,
as we were
yeah,
saying before, like I sort of got into listening to you through Instagram because one of my
yeah,
mates sent me I think it was the Harry Potter one that you sent me first, where you've
yeah.
done because I'm a massive Harry Potter fan, as most people probably
Same,
our
bro.
age
Same. I
are.
love Harry Potter, man.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
when you're growing up, it's pretty much the franchise like movie. It's coming out
It
every other
is.
year,
It
so
is. It is. I know.
but then I heard that, and you've put obviously again you've got like the Western music and put like a Punjabi twist on it. So like
Yeah.
when did you start using social media, not just for like that, but for overall and utilizing it and
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
growing?
So as I said, I started 6 years ago. So on my SoundCloud, my first ever like thing that I produced on the software, it was a gym podcast. So my older brother, he started a clothing company. It used to be called Gabru Fitness. He stopped it now,
Mhm.
but it went from Gabru Fitness to Gabru itself. And in the beginning, it was called Gabru Fitness, so it was clothes for gym people,
Yeah, yeah,
people that did gym and stuff, right?
yeah,
So I made a gym podcast. My first 3 to 4 releases were podcasts, like about 35 to 40 minutes.
hmm,
And I basically made mixes of like gym songs
yeah,
together. And I remember, lucky enough, I don't know how, like I never expected this as well. My first podcast, like till today, it has 100K plus plays on SoundCloud.
right, yeah,
Organic, no promotion. I never knew what promotion was back in the day. And
yeah,
I feel like I still don't know what it is. All right. But on SoundCloud, when I first released it in 2014, I got like 20,000 plays in the first 2 weeks, which was something unbelievable to me.
yeah,
And just from that, I made the next few podcasts, and then I started making refixes, like kind of like remixes of original songs,
yeah,
right, with my own like music into it. And I made a pop. You know the song Diljit Dosanjh Poplin,
yeah, yeah,
pop
yeah,
pop pop Poplin there. That song. So I made a refix to it, and I ended up getting like 400,000 plays within like 5 months in 2016 or whenever that song came out, right?
yeah.
And then it got copyrighted
Oh no.
because I feel like too many services got the song, and then I think maybe Diljit Dosanjh's team saw it,
Yeah,
that they saw this refix, and it was under my name obviously, so they want
yeah,
to take it down. And I
yeah,
even re-uploaded it as well, and
yeah.
that got about 50K, and then got taken down as well. And then I had like 2 strikes on SoundCloud,
Oh
so if I
no.
have another strike, I'm gonna get banned. So then I was like, I gotta stop. I'm not gonna do it again. But I don't know. I don't know why. I even said it's a refix. Like I'm not taking any. I'm like about. I was about 17, 16 then, and
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm just doing a remix. Like I'm not doing anything else, right? I'm not
yeah,
getting
yeah.
money from this or anything. But yeah, that happened then. It was funny, but yeah, it's something for me to learn. Like you can't like do that,
So
I guess.
can you not do remixes at all, or is it
You
specifically
can.
because?
It depends on the people. Like for my latest song, Batan, right?
Mhm.
I extracted a animation video from some Gora song, right, from YouTube, and I made it sync with the song Batan, and it synced really well. The animation video.
Yeah,
There's a teaser of it on my Instagram, and I put it on YouTube, and then YouTube didn't block it straight away because Sony Music Entertainment owns the rights for that animation. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, bloody hell. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. I can't do much about it. But yeah.
As we were saying before with the Frequency and Friends podcasting, they mention Sony Media quite often as well, to be fair. Like, it doesn't sound like they're nice people over there.
Yeah, no, this was Sony Music Entertainment. You know, Sony, the actual cinema company,
Yeah.
Sony, like the ones that make music,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
movies,
Right, okay.
Mission Impossible and stuff like that.
Right. So the
Like big,
animation
big
from was
movies.
from one of their movies.
Not from their movies, but they just own the rights to it.
Right,
You
okay,
get
okay,
me?
okay.
The
Yeah, yeah.
visuals, yeah. So that's why I couldn't put that video up. But it was really good. It synced really well with the music.
Yeah.
Like it fit perfectly. But it is what it is. Something I guess I was gonna make a. I should have like got someone to make a replica of the animation video,
Of the
and then
animation,
that would
yeah.
have worked.
This
But
that's a
yeah,
weird
no.
thing that you like like I'm not obviously too clued up on it, but intellectual property and stuff and music seems like a massive sort of like confusing zone thing. You can't use like X amount of this and that, and but it's weird
Yeah.
because like you hear like in going back to Mani Sandhu, Majil, that song, and it's like
Mm.
literally the um what is it? Is it a whose instrumental was that? It was a song from like the early 2000s, maybe late 90s,
Okay. Yeah.
that he used in that. The one with AP Dylan. Have you heard that
Yeah. Yeah.
song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that song. Yeah. Yeah.
And they use
I
it
didn't like. I
instrumental
didn't like the
from.
music to it.
You didn't like the music,
I didn't like the music.
so that was. Oh, you
Because I
just
reckon
froze.
Money Sandhu's at that stage now where
Hmm.
he can pull off something better. Like as you're saying, it was an instrumental from a previous.
No, but so this is the thing. So he basically comes out on Twitter or Instagram or whatever afterwards and basically shows the files of him reconstructing the previous instrumental from that popular song in the early
Yeah,
2000s.
yeah,
He's done it
yeah,
every step of the way, and I think he did do a little tweaks here and there,
yeah,
but it basically
yeah,
sounds exactly the same. And
yeah,
then I think it was Jay Static on the Frequency podcast was saying that basically if the song blew up and got mainstream, then they would basically just shut down the song because it sounds too
yeah,
similar. Whereas
yeah,
like if it still stays as it is now, which is it's still
yeah,
like number one in the UK charts for like Punjabi
yeah,
music basically for
yeah. I
like
know. Yeah,
7 months, but it's still like not mainstream if that makes sense.
yeah. The one thing I don't like about that is that like when I heard that song originally, I was excited about it. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, Money Sandhu's coming out with a new track,
yeah,
but just the music didn't hit because I felt like he could have done better. Like I didn't
yeah,
even know that he used an instrumental sound. There you go. That's what I meant with the sampling as well.
yeah,
Like I feel like when you're big like that, you should do something more organic. Like I reckon you're capable of doing more something organic. You know,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
he's so good with the keyboard. He could make so many melodies
yeah.
with it.
That's how you sort of know it's him. Like with the keyboard, he's nuts. In
Yeah,
that My Time album, like the
yeah.
Vajra, the harmonium,
Harmonium.
that
Yeah,
yeah, oh my days, like he's so rapid with his fingers, it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
If he
Uh,
if he brought that back, it would have been sick as well. I would have been like, damn. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. But I think I don't know. I feel like a lot of the time now, it's like you were saying before, people don't go into a studio with instruments anymore. It's mainly just
Yeah.
like all
There you go.
computerized, so it's
Yeah.
easier to just like make the sound with a keyboard, and then
Mm.
just like alter it, I guess, how you
Yeah.
do what like on a computer. Um, why did you sort of make skits and things like that on your Instagram as well, like music skits? Like I alluded to it before, like the morning routine and this is how I drink jar every morning. Like it's hilarious,
Yeah.
and it's so creative. And obviously, I think
Yeah.
is it when you say, "Oh, I don't know about marketing," that's you obviously telling a bit of a lie there because that is a very good marketing way. Do you know what I mean of getting your name out?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But like, I didn't look. I didn't make that in the सोचा नहीं सी मैं इतना नहीं सोचा सी like I'm gonna make this for a marketing way.
Yeah.
I never think like that.
Hmm.
So when I made this because I saw this YouTube video of some Gora. He did kind of the same thing,
Hmm.
but he did like a video of where he wakes up as well. His whole day routine he did, right?
Right.
And he did it in a way that he did it over a period of 3 days. And within those 3 days, he found a girl as well, and then that girl joined him in the morning routine. Like the actions they both did were the same.
Yeah.
And then from that, I got the inspiration, and I was like, I can do the same thing, but with sounds, and just make it my own way. And that's what I basically did for that. And the jar video, I saw some guy making a song while cutting up cucumbers,
Right.
right? And I was like, you know, इतना कर सकता हूँ, मैं तो चाय बना के भी बना सकता, you know. So I was like, man, इतना कर लेना, right?
Yeah.
That's like I get inspirations like from just like seeing things like that,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll give it a try, because I like with me, yeah, I didn't say, like as I was saying before with the music side, I didn't say I'm gonna make a trap song and stuff. And sometimes when I make something, it sometimes turns out to be shit, turns out to be good. But I still
Yeah.
give it a go. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I didn't hold myself back. I didn't say to myself that, you know what, I can't do it.
You give it a crack.
Yeah, I just give it a crack. Even if it's shit. Like I've made a lot of shit things as well. But like they just like, you know, they just stay. They just get deleted afterwards.
Yeah. That's the best way, because you might stumble across something that you just ends up being your new vibe, if
Working,
that makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah. Yeah. It just
Yeah,
works. Yeah.
like even the Sangtar one, I remember my brother was here with me. Like he lives in a different like area now,
Yeah.
but he was here that time during the COVID lockdown time.
Hmm.
And I told him I want to make the Harry Potter one and I'll make the Sangtar one, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, okay. Like he probably didn't think I could do it. He knew I could do it,
Yeah.
but he helps me a lot with it as well. So I first did the Harry Potter one, I believe.
Mhm.
I made them at the same time, but I did the Harry Potter one, and then he just told me to fix up the music a bit. That's all. And with the Sangtar one, I had the music on point, but he just told me to make a video of mainly Sangtar and just take funny shots of him and just
Yeah.
put them together to make it look more funnier.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I did for that. Yeah,
Did he reach out, Sangdad? Like, did
he
he see it?
reposted it on yeah, he saw it, he commented, and he reposted it on his story,
That's
which
quite
was
cool.
which I was yeah I was like sick. I didn't expect it either.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Like
very
I've
cool.
like in the beginning when I was like about like 17, 18, like I'm 22 now, but I used to always have expectations and stuff.
Yeah.
But now I don't. I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, you know, I'm just gonna have fun and be me. And
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
keeps me happy, I'm gonna keep doing that and just chuck it out there. Like I do
100%.
have to start like though I do want to expose my music out there more now,
Hmm.
which I just got to start contacting pages and stuff. Like with that Who Needs a Band Anyway, I contacted a few like Punjabi memes, Punjabi Media Hub. I just contacted these pages, not because I want views, followers, and stuff, but I just want it to be exposed. Like
Yeah.
I didn't give
Yeah.
a shit about the number. I just want the music just to reach out to more people. And if
Yeah.
people dig it and they get happy by seeing it, you know, will be awesome as well. Like they'll be like, oh wow, you know, like others can actually enjoy the music as well.
100%.
Because it was like, yeah, because like when I released Who Needs a Band Anyway, I had people like messaging me and stuff. Like I had mothers and fathers messaging me as well. I'm like, oh wow. And they were just sending very kind messages and stuff, you know. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we love your voice, we love what you made, it was beautiful and stuff. And I'm just like, oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Like, I feel like nowadays it's like people focus on the numbers a bit too much. Like, and
Way too
it's
yeah.
always unrealistic. Like,
It's yeah, it's
do you know what I
like
mean? Like, sorry, go
there's
on.
like there's like music producers coming out and they have a million views. I haven't heard of Punjabi artists like all these new Punjabi singers from India. They release a song and the song has a million views within the first 24 hours. And I'm just fucking like, what's going on? Because I see the weekend never gets that much.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
weekend never gets Drake doesn't get that much. How is this Punjabi singer
Yeah.
getting this much? It's just shocking. Even like Just Manik, 1 billion views. I don't believe it. I
Yeah.
can't. I'll never believe it. Doji Dosanjh doesn't have a billion views. Jazzy B doesn't have a billion views. How
Yeah.
does this Just Manik guy have a billion views? Do you get what I mean? Like
I
it's
always like I
all
heard this thing like it's always the quality of the followers, not the quantity, and I stand by that. Like, if you have
yeah,
people who are like, especially with like music, social media, podcasting, anything, yeah. If you have people who are engaging with your content, it's 100% better than having 10 times that, but they're not engaging
yeah,
with it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
100%. But
yeah,
and again with the numbers, is them numbers are just unfathomable. Like, because of like social media, and you see a million followers here or a million
yeah,
views here, it's unfathomable. Like, you were saying 400,000 views on your Diljit remix, yeah. I'm in Newcastle. Our football stadium holds around 55,000 people. When that's packed, it is like, it's known Newcastle's one of the best atmospheres in it for a football game, like
yeah,
in the country. You come here and it's going to be
yeah.
a tough day for that
I,
football
I,
team.
I watch soccer as well. I do watch soccer here and
Do you know
there.
what I
I
mean?
do.
But imagine
Yeah,
like a stadium like 55,000 times by 8.
Yeah.
That's what you had on that Diljit views.
On
Do you know
the
what I mean?
yeah,
Like
on the
you
players.
can't
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
fathom, you can't
Yeah, I
fathom
know.
them
Yeah.
numbers.
It's right. But like nowadays, it's just like computers, like bots and stuff that do it. That just get that view number up. What that does is it just puts YouTube in the algorithm that other people will start seeing it. Because
Yeah,
like a normal person would click on a video with more than 1 million views instead
yeah,
of a video with like 10 views or 20 views.
yeah, yeah. It is true. Yeah, that. But and that's where you sort of need to have like the traction coming towards you, because at the end of the day, like is again you said exposure, and at the end of the day, like if you're successful numbers term wise, like the quality could be as good now as it is in a couple of years when you have 1 million views. Like the quality could be the same, but because you're getting more traction, I imagine you'll be able to work with like people that you want to work with, and it opens
Yeah.
more opportunities up, which is it's like it's a double-edged sword sort of thing. Like there was benefits to it, but it's also like it's a weird sort of like time at the moment, especially like you said with bots and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's like everyone like I feel like everyone in this industry now, everyone that wants to be a music producer, wants to do singing. I reckon it lifted up more because of COVID. Everyone's at home. ਸਾਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਗਾਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ
Mhm.
music ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਣਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਵਿਹਲੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਘਰ ਹੁਣ ਹੈ ਨਾ
Yeah, yeah,
before everyone was outside
yeah,
most of the times, right? They were outside in their lives and stuff like that. Since
yeah.
they've sat at home, like there's people like everyone's just releasing music, new upcoming artists and stuff. But I feel like everyone's just attracted to that fame, that clout, that like the views, the amount of followers you have, the amount of likes you get, the amount of
Mhm.
people that are commenting and stuff. I reckon a lot of kids as well, a lot of kids are just falling into social media.
It's
Like
dangerous. It is
I be
dangerous.
honest, I be honest, I didn't go on Instagram. I only go Instagram only like once. Sometimes I don't even go on it like in the day.
Yeah.
And like I go on it just like message someone like you or message my close friends,
Mhm.
or I go on it just to post a video or a song or
Yeah.
contact a few pages and tell them to put it up as well.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
I do. I don't sit on Instagram and just do scrolling. I just can't do that anymore. Like
It,
even
it,
with any other social media platform, I simply just can't. I'd rather just spend that time with mom and dad or my grandma
100%.
because I feel like kids these days, especially in lockdown, everyone's on their phone. Everyone,
It's
all the
that
people
it's
on
the
their.
thing again. It's like you feel like it's the numbers, like especially with kids, like the like young children, they're addicted to like TikTok because they're getting these
Yeah. Oh
mental
man.
numbers. Yeah, I don't know how big it is in Australia, but I assume it's quite
Yeah,
big. It's
it is.
everywhere
It is,
now.
man. It is. It's stupid. The people like kids make stupid videos and it gets like 1 million views, 1 million likes. I'm just like, aki shit there. Like like this is like this is what all the this is what all the kids are going into. Like, for example, I know that when me and you were kids, we didn't have this. We didn't have phones. We didn't have Snapchat. We didn't
Yeah,
have any of this gun class. We were playing with toys. Like I was playing with Power Ranger toys. I had the best time of my life.
yeah,
You know, like even like when I have kids in the future, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna give them phones. I'm
yeah.
gonna chuck them some toys and just be like, play with toys.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
like because these
There's
phones are just they're not right. They're actually not right.
yeah, no, it
If you
is.
use it
It's
in the wrong
scary.
way, it's really damaging.
100%. Like it is scary. Like there was benefits to the internet and social media. Like I contacted you through social media, but there's so many drawbacks that aren't as apparent, if that makes sense. They're not as obvious. Like the amount of
Yeah.
time that you spend on the like effect that it has on mental health and all this
Yep.
thing. So 100% could not agree more. You
Because like
mentioned COVID there as well. So how's Australia been with COVID? And
I'm in a state where the lockdown happened really bad. Like we had two massive lockdowns. One big lockdown in the beginning,
mhm.
and we got rid of the cases, so zero cases every day. Everything started opening up again. And then one of our hotel quarantines messed up. Like we had these Punjabi security guards. They weren't even security guards, right? They're not professional. They don't know how to keep hygiene, right?
Yeah.
They're coming in to do that job to have money because they,
Mhm.
everyone's struggling with money. And our government failed in that because then they started spreading that virus to everyone else in the community. And we went up to about 800 cases was our top number in one day. And
Okay.
we went fully into lockdown. We went to a stage where we couldn't leave the house by 8 p.m.
Oh, like curfew.
8 p.m. Everyone has to be inside the house. Otherwise,
Right.
you're getting $1,000 fines. Everyone has to wear a mask everywhere. No one can be seen without a mask unless you have asthma or you have a certificate from the doctor, right?
Yeah.
And that was a big, very, very big lockdown. We still have restrictions now. Now we have zero cases every day,
Hmm.
because we went through that massive lockdown and all the numbers dropped. Like our main minister, prime minister, basically of our state,
Yeah.
he got a lot of shit like for doing what he did.
You have
Like
a
he
prime
got death
minister in each
threats.
state.
No, no, no. I meant he's a minister of the state.
Oh, okay, like
He's a
MP.
state minister, not the
Okay,
prime
okay.
minister, but he's like MP. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He got so much shit just for doing what he did, but he actually brought all the numbers down. But a lot of shit did happen for like people in the world, which is like as a
yeah.
consequence. Because if like the cases didn't stop, then a lot of people would have died because a lot of people were dying as well. And now the restrictions are easing and stuff, and
Hmm.
people are getting back to normal and stuff. So I hope that we don't get any more cases like we did before.
Yeah,
On either रब ਨੂੰ ही पता है on सच्चे पातशाह जानता when we're gonna get out of this and everything. It's
yeah.
worldwide. Like when we just gotta wait it now. We can't do much. We gotta
100%.
wait for the vaccine and then फिर ही सब कुछ ठीक हो जाऊंगा बाद.
Definitely. It is weird, like, because some countries just handled it a lot better than others. Like in the UK, I don't think it was handled well. It's basically like the countries that value money over anything else, like they just want to keep everything open, which is what happened in
ਉਹ
the
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ
UK.
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਹਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਪਿਆ. Like
Yeah.
every day there's so many cases.
Or you
ਕੋਈ
just have
ਕੇਅਰ
an
ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ.
ignorant leader. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is. That's just an
Yeah.
ignorant leader who's like but like I'm surprised that yous were quite bad with it, because I know like one of my mates is in New Zealand at the moment. He moved there like last year, and they've
Yeah.
been chilling.
Yeah, you know why? Because their prime minister is really smart.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
blocked international travel. When she did that, they only had about 20 cases max, and
Yeah,
after that, they were living life because
that's
they
it.
blocked off everything else. It was only them in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what he said as well. Is like when we went into lockdown, I think they basically had zero cases by that point, and everyone was just back to
yeah,
normal. Like I'm sitting here in lockdown, like can't even go out or whatever, and he
yeah,
said there'd be pictures of him basically in a club, like having a session. I'm thinking,
yeah,
what the hell? Like the transparent, like the
yeah,
contrast, sorry, is like
yeah.
ridiculous.
I'm actually lucky as well. Like, I'm really lucky because like I still like, I still get to study as well because I'm studying dentistry as well. So I still get to
Okay.
study that. And I still got to go to school and practice my classes
Hmm.
because there were a lot of universities here in the city which were closed off. No students, sorry, all students had to do everything online. And I was really lucky about that. I was lucky I still had a job, and my mom and dad still have a job. Like they haven't been affected either.
Hmm.
And yeah, just very lucky because there are families out there that lost jobs. A lot of bad things have happened. So it's really grateful for
100%.
getting through it and stuff.
So are you gonna be doing this alongside being a dentist? Because I know like G Sidhu, if you've heard of like him,
Yeah, yeah,
he's obviously this musician, but I think he's also like a therapist or something, isn't he? So
yeah.
like
Psychiatrist. Yeah,
yeah, psychiatrist, yeah. So like it's weird, like if somebody comes into your dentist and you're checking their teeth and they're like, "Can you sing a song while my treatment's going on?" or something like that. Like
I
that would
hope
be quite...
I hope nobody knows who I am as I'm a dentist.
I think he had the
But
same idea as like as a psychiatrist, that he hoped they would stay like exclusive. But obviously,
yeah,
if like your career does just rocket at one point, it will be hard to keep the two separate.
yeah, it will. It is. I know, but I reckon I don't mind that much. Like I would love to have like Punjabi patients come in. I'll be cleaning the teeth. I
Yeah,
love to put some songs on for them as well. Honestly,
yeah.
legit. Yeah,
Just like singing along while you're cleaning the teeth. Like, oh,
yeah. While I'm cleaning the teeth.
you've
Yeah,
got some cavities here. How long
yeah,
does that? Because that's obviously like a medical degree, so I assume that that's going to take some time to
yeah.
do.
I reckon another 3 to 4 years. Because before I did a science degree, and I didn't know beforehand what I wanted to do at
Right.
all,
Hmm.
because I knew I wanted to do something with education as well. Because
Hmm.
I never wanted to just do one thing. I always want to do more than one thing in my life.
Yeah.
And I felt like doing, because I really like the dentist job, is because you can come in when the patient arrives and you can leave when the last patient goes,
Yeah.
right? And if say all the patients cancel in one day, you
You
just get to
just
go
don't.
home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go home, make some music. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Make music on your time off. 100%. I feel like nowadays, because everything is like just getting higher and higher, more expensive. I think more than one income is definitely like you just need it, especially like, and you
Yeah,
probably need something like which is more financial, like probably
yeah,
dentistry, and
yeah.
then something more
Stable,
creative,
yeah, for
which
the
is like
future.
music.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So like
definitely.
covering all
Um,
aspects.
hmm. Like I still haven't really been thinking about the money side of things because I still live with my parents.
Hmm. You
But
get to
yeah, in
chill
the
out.
future, I guess, yeah,
You
in
get
the
to chill
future,
out in
I
that
guess I'll,
respect.
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Because like when I spend money on like music or I'm buying something, like I'm buying lighting gear or I'm buying like a keyboard, a new keyboard or something, my
yeah.
parents don't like it. Like my dad's fine with it. My mom's like, "Tate tu hana apne paise kharab kari janna hai hana. Tenu nahi lod hai idhar di cheeਜ਼ਾਂ." Like my mom, for example, she's not fully supportive. She's like half half.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
kind of supportive and then kind of not as well. But my dad's really supportive though. He's really really supportive.
That's good. That's good. And your setup that you've got is like looks clean as out. Like you've worked on branding as well. You've got the neon lights with the KA. You've got
Yeah.
like your setup. It looks how like did you have that as like a thing in your head, or did you get external help, or how did you like
Okay.
sort of accumulate your branding?
All right. So in the beginning, if you look at my previous videos, I had that KA logo,
Hmm.
and that was made out of like wood, right?
Okay.
Me and my dad made it. We like drew it on a piece of wood, and we just made it, right? And I told my dad we'll put LED strips behind it, so when we put it against the wall,
Hmm.
it glows right from the sides. And then I look back at that logo now, and I'm just like that logo's trash. But I made this logo, the KA logo, in 2015 when I was like about 15 as well, I think, or 16, right? I made it then. And I loved that. That was probably the best logo. I don't know how I made it. I just
Yeah.
made it somehow, right? And that's always going to be there for me now, like KA. But like, I wanted to take the next, like in my head, I wanted to take the next step up, right? Because I just wanted to take something like the visuals, I want to take to another level, right?
Yeah.
And then I told dad that I want to make a logo which glows from the inside,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And then he was telling me things like he was telling me eat cheap options, right? Because he didn't want me to spend money on acrylic.
Yeah.
And cutting acrylic is really hard as well. So I got the KA cut out twice professionally from like a company, and I had to spend my money for that. And then I got some rectangular pieces of acrylic cut out,
Yeah.
and then me and dad just joined it all together, right? So it's 3D. The logo is
Yeah. Yeah.
3D, and we just put some strips inside of it.
Inside. Okay.
so,
I get
so
you.
it glows in the colors. And I initially that setup, you know how it's black and everything.
Yeah.
Initially, I had it white, like it was all white,
Yeah.
and the table was white as well. And one of my close friends, and he has another good friend as well. They know a lot about lighting,
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
how to make things look really, really professional. And he told me that he didn't like my setup at all. Like he liked the logo, but he told me you can make it even better.
Mm.
So he basically came down and he told me a few lights to buy, which were really expensive.
Right.
And I just bought them because I was like, you know what, like, this is actually going to make my visual look way better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to buy like a few lights and I painted the wall black as well. So that way the KA logo, the light doesn't spread, it gets absorbed in the color
Makes
at the
sense.
very back. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, it looks clean as out. Like I think the minimalist trend is sort of in at the moment as well, and that it suits it to a T sort of thing. It does look just
Yeah,
clean
because
and crisp.
I don't reckon any Punjabi has done this like what I'm doing right now with the keyboard.
Mm.
Like I haven't seen any Punjabi do it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I got inspired by Sick Kick, which I'll show you like after this call. But yeah, I mainly got inspired by him because he started doing that. Like he had some lights at the back as well, and he was on the keyboard, and I got really inspired by that. And I was like, you know what, I can do the same thing as well, but
yeah.
just my own way, and just put my own touch to it as well. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. It looks dope, and as I say, like I'm excited to see how it progresses because
Yeah, I know.
already,
Yeah, I gotta start leveling things up, like, because right now I'm still like doing like remixes and covers and stuff like that.
mhm,
And I have there's one more remix that I want to make, and then after that one, once I finish that, I'm just gonna start making more original music,
mhm.
like make things from scratch. Like I have flows, I have lyrics for like two tracks that are really really good. I just need a producer, just get it out,
Yeah, yeah.
work hard on it. I just gotta grind really hard just to get the good music out, basically.
Definitely, because I feel like that your style is like it is very unique, as I said before, and like the way that you're I know that you don't think of it as marketing. It's just like how you're presenting yourself and how you feel like you want to present yourself. But it
Yeah,
it is as you said unique in the Punjabi sort of space. It is like it's different and it's refreshing to see sort of thing. Like
yeah.
you're sitting there, it's clean as out, it's nice background, the music's good, with your keyboard setup. It just As I say, I'm a big fan, so I'm not trying to blow
Thank you.
smoke up your ass or anything, but it
No,
is what
no,
it
thank you.
is.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. If it's okay with you, I normally finish up with some quick fire questions.
No worries.
Yeah,
Go
there's
right
like
ahead.
six
Yeah.
questions, but I say they're quick fire. Just a heads up, they're quite deep, so you might have to take a few seconds to like answer each one because they're quite like
No
soul
worries. No
searching
worries.
questions.
Okay, okay. I got you. I got you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
number one, what are you most proud of?
All right. Okay, these are pretty tricky. What I'm most proud of. I've actually never asked myself that question before, so I don't know how to answer it. Proud of. Um. Yeah, man. I don't know how to answer that. I reckon I've never thought of that way, but I could say like, could I like alter the question a bit? Could I
Yeah,
alter a
sure.
bit? Is that okay? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've never thought to myself what I'm proud of yet. Like I'm definitely happy. Like if I look back at where I began from in the music,
Hmm.
which I don't do really often, but um, I would say I'm really happy, and I would say I'm proud of where I've come right now.
Yeah.
And I know there's still a long way to go as well, and that's just me working hard. I'm proud of getting my vocals to where they are now, and I'm also excited to see where I go in the future as well. Um, I'm proud of being me, like who I am. I guess just sticking true to myself, not letting others control me, not letting others like opinions get to me and what they say about me. Like I'm proud of like because I'm not a guy who goes out a lot. I actually don't. Like this lockdown for me is something normal as well because I'm usually just at home just making music or just with the family. Like just with my grandma. I love being with my grandma. Love being with mom and dad. Love just seeing like I don't have a lot of friends. Honestly, don't. I consider that like my friends are like I only have like three. I'll legit say I have three real friends. Like and yeah, I don't really go out. Like I don't socialize a lot. Like as in I'm not a guy who goes out there and looks for like I want to have a lot of friends. I want to be this. I want to be cool. I want to
Yeah.
like smoke. I want to do drugs. I want to like go out party. I want to talk to girls. I want to do this and that. I don't go down. I don't enjoy any of that line.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is not me. Like I just stay to myself and yeah, just be me. Just do what makes me happy at the end of the day. Not trying to like do what others do. And yeah,
100%. 100%. Um, what's your favorite memory of your career so far? Like of making music so far?
I have a lot actually of making the music. Definitely, it's like I get like very happy when I'm making it.
Yeah.
And then especially when like my older brother, because like he's full honest with me, and like if I make something really shit, he beats me down for it.
Hmm.
But like I've made about two tracks, two or three songs that I've made, which have made him cry, which have made him cry,
Oh,
which I
really?
guess, yeah, that's just yeah, like kind of things like that make me like really happy because like he's really close to me. I grew up with him,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah,
100%. What are you most looking forward to?
well life like I haven't asked myself that either. Where life takes me, I guess,
It's
where I'm
good.
gonna
Yeah.
go in the next year. What's gonna happen. Hopefully everything settles down with the COVID stuff. Things start opening up. I would love to maybe even if I could ever perform on stage in the UK. I would
Yeah.
love to meet you in real life. I'm being honest. I would
Yeah,
love to
yeah.
meet you in real life.
Same, man.
Because
I've always wanted to come to Australia.
if I ever come down to the UK, I'm telling you, we got to meet up.
100%.
We're gonna
I'd
try
love
and
it.
link up.
I would
Honestly,
love it.
we're trying to link up. Um, Performing, like if I can, like even having my music performed by other like artists out there to big crowds and stuff, that would be sick. Or get played at like at events, like, at weddings ਹੁੰਦੇ, reception ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਜਾਗੋ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ,
Yeah,
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ
yeah,
ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਗਾਣੇ ਵੱਜਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਵੇ ਨਾ, like we're like sick, like, have my music playing.
yeah.
Yeah, because on my 21st birthday, we had one of my songs, Al Nachir,
Right.
if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
It's like a dance song, and we had that played on my 21st, and like all us boys, there's about 15 of us, and when that drop happens in the song, we were always going crazy, like in a circle. It was pretty sick.
Because it's your song,
And
it'll
then
feel better as well.
yeah, it is my song, yeah. And then that Bombay song by Jazz Dummy.
Yeah.
So when he put out his vocals out there, I made my own version to it. And Aaron E reposted it on his story, and he messaged me as well, and he told it was amazing. Like, he said that to me, and that's also a moment that made me really like happy and like unbelievable, because he's someone that I consider as a god of music,
Yeah, yeah,
and him messaging me that like is beyond, like, yeah, it's beyond everything. Like, I couldn't imagine it. And
yeah.
he reposted on his story, and yeah, it was
That's
really,
dope,
really,
man.
yeah,
That is
it was
dope.
really sick. Yeah, it was shocking to me, because it was my brother's engagement, and I released that song, and we played that song as well, Bombay, my version, on my brother's engagement. And
Yeah.
there was a part where I was doing a sick dance to it as well, like in the middle of everyone. And that night, then when I got back to my house, and I just saw on my Instagram that he messaged me, and I'm just like, holy shit, yeah, I didn't know what to say. And I'm just like, thank you so much for everything, like, you've done, because you've inspired me a lot. And yeah, that's a memory as well. That's definitely a memory.
That would be a great
Yeah.
feeling. I can only imagine. What is your definition of success?
This is really hard. Is this the last question? Is
This is
this
the
the last
second
question?
last question. There's one more
Second
after
last
this.
question. All right. These are getting really hard.
I'll edit out the thinking
Success.
time in it, so it's like I'll edit out the thinking time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you keep it. You keep it in. It's all right. It's all right. Success. It's about, I reckon, being happy. Happy success. I don't like using the word success. I reckon being happy with your life is the most important thing in the world. Knowing that you're living, that you're breathing every moment, knowing that you've also, no matter what age you are, but you've got to experience everything, you know, like knowing that you have two arms, two legs, knowing that you're healthy, you don't have issues like lung cancer, any type of cancer, you don't have a disorder, a mental disorder, knowing that you have so many things, the internet, a house, all these kind of things to be grateful of. Being happy is, I guess, more important than even like thinking about the word success.
Yeah.
Like, definitely you want achievements in life, definitely you want goals in life, you want to
Hmm.
work hard, you want to get there and stuff.
Yeah.
That's completely fine to have, as long as you are happy in the process of getting there. That's really important, because you can't think that you go past everything, all the obstacles in life, and you come to this end point. Like, you always think, like, some people always think that, there's a goal of me having this much, and once I get there, I'm going to be happy. That's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you shouldn't be thinking in your mind like that. You should be thinking of the life you're living and how you can be happy already. Because it's not about being happy later. It's about being happy now.
100%. Because if when you reach that
Yeah.
goal, you're just gonna set another goal, so you may as well be happy
Yeah.
happy in the journey.
Exactly. Yeah. And
100%.
like, even with me and music right now, I know I don't have that many views. I'm not that big or anything, but I'm loving just the process of making music and having fun.
Yeah. And the last question, because it's the KultureKast podcast, how do you think your
Yeah.
culture has affected you in your journey so far?
I would say, if anyone would ask me this question, like us being Punjabi Sikh,
Mhm.
I reckon our culture is amazing. Like, I reckon if I would ever want to live a life, another life or something like that, I don't know what happens, like, we don't know what happens, right? But I would love to replay this life over and over again.
Yeah, that's
Like,
dope.
not just about the culture, but just how my life has evolved as well, you know? And culture is a big thing, because our culture is like, it's so amazing. Like, we tend to not even appreciate the amount of things our culture gives off as well.
Mhm.
Like, how do I say, like, even like the way our weddings work, the amount of like the music as well in our culture is just so phenomenal that you can hear it, you know, because there's so much music in our culture. It's not just like Kuldeep Manik. It's not just like Sujit Bindarakia. You know, it's not about Chamkila. It's not just about them. It's about like even Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Saab, even like Sufi music, even you know, even Shabd. I love Shabd.
Yeah.
I love listening to Kirtan. I love listening to like just people just doing part as well. Because
Yeah.
I've actually like when I was since I was little as well, mum always like made me and my brother do part with her, like at 6 p.m. like do raras every night and just doing Kirtan because I the first thing that I learned to sing was Kirtan.
Hmm.
Like I learned that, and then I love singing Kirtan as well. I haven't really done that yet on my Instagram page. I'll do that someday.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I really enjoy Kirtan, like listening to Kirtan. Yeah,
We have got a very musical culture, like tied closely to the religion. Like when you hear, like maybe more so in India, but when people are reading Bard in India, like
yeah,
they do it musically. Do you know what I mean? They like long out every word, and it's like it's more like music than it is just reading. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And then when you get to the Kirtan, there's so like I got taught tabla at Punjabi school like during Sikhi camps in the
yeah,
summer, and it's dope. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, my music sort of is stemmed from learning dole at home, learning tabla there, and
yeah.
yeah, it's music in our culture is like just embedded into
It,
each other, sort of
it
thing.
is, it is.
It is
Yeah.
really good. But yeah, again, thank you for your time. I know time difference and all
Thank
that.
you for your time as well. Thank you
No
for
worries,
like
man.
reaching out and having me on a podcast. Honestly, it's amazing,
No worries, man. When you do get famous, just remember the third podcast you did was this one.
bro. I'll never forget it. No, I'm being honest. Like, not about being famous, but like even the songs and stuff I listen to these days. Like, I know the real ones. Like, I know who the real ones are for me
Yeah,
around me, and I really appreciate that. You know, like because honestly, even if I do get big, bro, I would like I would like put your I'll tag you and everything. I'll be like, nah, this was a podcast. Like this, I'm being honest, this was probably the best. Like this is gonna be the best podcast for me. And
yeah.
if I ever go to another podcast, I'm gonna be like, nah, I can't say anything because this guy was the best. KultureKast was the best.
You know what they say. You always remember your first.
Yeah, I will. I am. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I'm never
uh,
gonna forget this. Yeah.
that's dope, man. I will leave all of your links in the description to your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, your website, your SoundCloud, your Spotify. So for everybody who is listening, they can check you out on all them platforms, support the music. Um, and yeah, thank you again for your time.